It feels so good to be back with you all again. Oh my goodness, I've missed you and I've missed my quilting. 2 months without quilting. How can that be? But check this out. Oh my gosh, this is such a wonderful, wonderful quilt. I wanted to get scrappy. I had some wonderful scraps that I worked with. And look at this. It's a log cabin, but not the regular log cabin. This is a fast, easy, quick. Oh my gosh, it goes together beautifully. And you're going to love it. It's quick, it's easy, but the best part is it's fast. And you can use what you have on hand. Wait till I show you how this went together. If you haven't guessed, this is Louise from Inspired Quilting by Louise, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Let's get started. I want to show you how to make this quilt. So a few months ago, before we had to move, I ordered some Christmas fabric, and I want to show you. And with so much going on that's happened, I didn't open a lot of this stuff because I knew we had to move, and I didn't want to have it open and get it lost. So here we are. Look at this. These are Christmas fabric scraps. Let me see what it says. Oh, look, a cute little clip on there from Maureen's Craft Cottage. And this was an Etsy order. A Christmas fabric scrap bag, 14 pieces for $5. Now, this has been months ago, so I don't know if she has anything like this left, but it was certainly a good deal for me. And let's take a look at what's inside here. You know, Christmas fabrics run along two color genres. A lot of red and green, but then there's also the red and blue or the silver and blue. So there's a lot of colors you can mix together. So here we have a really pretty iridescent, what do I want to call, what's that? Cobalt blue, I would say, sapphire blue. And it has a bit of a, ooh, I just really like it. It shines. Can you see that? Can you see that in the light? It's pretty. And then we have just a number of assorted pieces in various sizes. I appreciate that most things are, well over 5 inches. So these are some squares. Okay, so we have things that are folded in different ways. And so there's a lot of little things here that I will be able to use, because I'm wanting to do some pieces, some pieced blocks, and I have some ideas of what I want. So this is a good start. Okay, so when we were packing up, I put all my rotary blade cutters in one baggie with, one big baggie. And then I took one small one in my to-go bag because, if you're moving, you've got to have a to-go bag for your sewing. Just want to make sure I don't cut anything inside. Well, I'm so glad I did, because this is the only one I can find. I can't find my other bag. Now, here's the funny part. This to-go bag had all my blades in it, but not a single one of my big rotary cutters. So I'm going to have to go back to the house and search for that. Now, this looks Christmassy, definitely. And Christmas cottons. Okay, and this is from... And this is from Kathy. This was really cool because her mom had a bunch of fabrics that she needed to move on. And so what she did was put them together in bags of similar size. Now, let me read this to you. Hi, Leah, the quilting video queen. It's nice to meet someone who is out there making the craft world better and easier like me. These 2 bags created a huge pile of fabric on my table, and I was a little overwhelmed. I had to stop for a minute and sort through it, take a look at what there was, and decide how to proceed. As I was sorting through the pile, there were a few pieces that started coming together, and before you know it, the inspiration hit, and I started to see a plan. With everything spread out, I started dividing into similar sizes. I had small, sort of blockish pieces, odds and ends, some longer, wide pieces, lots of strips, and they varied anywhere from 1.5 up to, I believe this is the 3.5. And then there was some small strips. So I just kind of went through and separated it all. And I found something that I absolutely loved. And that's what I wanted to show you. So earlier you saw when I said I didn't have enough fabric. I'm sure you all groaned because yes, I did have a lot of fabric. But it wasn't the Christmas fabric I was looking for. And let me show you the plan that I came up with. This is where I started. There were some 6.5-inch blocks that were already pre-cut. There were 16 of them actually. And so I thought this is a great place to start. And then I found 16 of these little, they're sort of a creamy color with a gold filigree. They're quite pretty, and that filigree works well with this block. So I thought that, and then I found another piece that I cut out that matched so that when I sew these together, they're coming together. Now, tell me that doesn't look like a log cabin, right? So I thought, well, okay, I have all these strips, I have all these pieces, and I pulled out a few of my scraps from other projects that I had from Christmas last year, and look at that. So we're going courthouse steps. I'm putting 2 here, and then instead of kind of coming around like this just worked better because of the pieces I had and the sizes that everything was. So I sewed these together, and let me show you how that came out. Here we go. So here's the centerpiece. I had about 10 of these, and the others were burgundy colors and some little holly pieces and things like that, but it all worked out really well, and the colors were terrific together. So you can see I did my 2 pieces here, and God bless this woman. She's a quilter just like me. If your piece isn't big enough, add a corner on. Do you see that? You know, I'm always talking. Quilting's about cutting fabric apart and putting it back together. So don't ever worry about putting a seam. Oh, and this one too. You see that? This is one I did. I thought, by gosh, if she can do it, I'm going to do it too. And so I've got the 2 pieces here. And then I put a strip along the width. So this is 6.5 inches. These are each 3.5 inches. And this is 6.5 by 3.5. So there we are. So we've got the beginning of our log cabin. I just need to do 2 sides. Now, I only had so many pieces that I could cut a single strip at 12.5 inches by 3.5. So I decided one side will be solid, the other will be pieced. Not unlike this. One is solid and the other is pieced. So I kind of had a pattern coming together here. So I did cut my solids out first and set them aside. And I took my pieces and I started laying them out. And I thought, okay, this is kind of fun. So I can put this here or I can put it here, whichever way I want. But one thing I made sure of is that this seam didn't line up here. And the only reason for that is I don't want to line up any seams because this is going to be fast and easy. I'll tell you, it's taking me more time to cut the fabric than to sew this together. It's going together so quickly, you're just not going to believe it. All right, so here we have it, right? This one and this one. And then this is what it looks like when we put them together. So it's all nice and neat. We have our 2 pieces here and here. And then we put our solid strip here. How awesome is that? This is such an easy block, and it finishes at 12 inches. This is going to go together great. So I have a total of 16 of these to put together, and I have some ready to go that I'm going to show you. And I just am so excited about how wonderful these are. The colors, the prints, everything goes together. And even though I had 2 different bags of scraps, they all worked beautifully. So let me get some blocks sewn together, and I can't wait to show you this. And let me just take you through some of these blocks and what they look like. I think they're going to be beautiful together. There's a lot of deep, dark colors, rich colors, but yet there's a lot of lighter white colors that brighten it up. And just, some really fun. I like a few batiks that I added in. But there's some great prints along the way and a lot of interest with some graphics in here and the stripes. And I love the little vignettes here of the kind of a New England mountain look. But look at these. Aren't these so pretty? Now, the fun part, I get to put them together into a quilt. All right, let me lay this out and see how it's going to look. I had fun playing around with the blocks and trying to decide which way I liked them laid out the best. And I went with just a totally haphazard pattern. I did not turn these consistently all in the same direction. And I like that because it really mixes it up, and I like the way the colors fall this way. So now I did make a couple changes when I was putting it together. Let me show you how that looks. And here it is, all sewn together. I really like how this turned out. I love the way these little white blocks in there are just sort of scattered around everywhere, but yet there's some big patches of color throughout. And it measures right around 48 inches, but I want it bigger. So I'm going to take those fabrics, that yardage that I had, and I'm going to put some borders on this. I really like this quilt. I can't wait to have this one finished. I love the colors. I love the prints. There's just so much going on in this quilt in every block. I don't even know how many fabrics are in here, but look at all those different pieces. Aren't they wonderful? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so glad you were here to share this with me today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're ready to make your own. And we got to keep doing some more quilting. I can't wait to get back and do some more. I do need to make this bigger, though. I think I said that earlier in the video that I want to add some borders to it. And it'll be so pretty. Let me show you. I've got it right here. Just look at these two. This red and this blue-green that I showed you at the beginning. This will be beautiful around the edge. So we've got a plan, and that's what's coming up next. And then maybe we'll quilt it together. I don't know. I don't have it all figured out yet, but I'm quilting, and I'm happy, and I'm glad you're here with me. Thanks so much. Have a fabulous day. It is such a pleasure to be here with you.